here at this festival, I produced and I appear in a movie called KillHer, KILL, one word. And it was my first feature film that I've produced and put it all together. Discovered money, brought in a writer, brought in a director, and made a movie. So we shot in Big Bear for a couple of weeks last October. About a year ago today, we were actually up there shooting right now. Yeah. Yeah.
What was it about this script that you found? You're like, I have to make this. We have to do this. I'm going to go on this side of the world of like the business. It's hard.
I know, because I'm known for TV. I've done like 160 episodes of TV.
Yeah.
So I've done a couple of things.
You're like, I'm kind of new.
No, not really. Nobody knows who the heck I am. But anyway, no, it was funny because I met the money people first, and they were like, we want to produce a movie. And I'm like, I got a script. I didn't have a script. So I called a few people, and I called my buddy Tom Quiche, and who's a screenwriter. He's written like 24 scripts. And I'm like, hey, do you have something, these parameters and blah, blah, blah? And he goes, yeah, I was going to do it myself. I'm like, well, do you want to do it for your budget, or do you want to do it for my budget 3 times that, and it's not your money? And he was like, I'm in. All the money's on the screen. It looks great. Brought a DP. It was amazing. Sony gave us free lenses. I mean, it's a beautiful looking film as well as a fun ride. It really is. So I think of it as a thriller with horror elements as opposed to all our horror, but people are going to call it what they're going to call it, I guess. So.
Well, congratulations, and I hope you have an amazing time here at ScreamFest.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. This is, one of the best genre festivals, biggest festivals in this genre, I should say. Flip that around. But yeah, so it's going to be fun, and I love coming here anyway as a fan, so I'm thrilled to have a feature playing here, and it's our world premiere.
I do have a film in the festival. It's called KillHer. It was written by myself and directed by Robin August.
Amazing. Can you give me a little sneak, a little synopsis, a little something to get everyone interested?
I certainly can. It's about 4 bachelorettes that decide to go camping, and from there it spins the genre of slasher on its head. I wanted to take on a genre that sometimes people feel is old and beat up and spin it just on story alone.
If you've ever heard of the famous Swiss children's story about Heidi, we kind of reworked her a little bit. She's now a little bit older and a little more badass. She's going to kick ass, you'll see on the 14th.
Where did you come up with this wild idea to take this like beloved childhood story and turn it on its head like this?
Well, initially it came out of desperation because nobody makes genre films in Switzerland. So we thought we need something, and then we had the idea to put this Switzerland that has this name of this perfect place and paradise, and put it in a dystopian future scenario. And yeah, it was pretty clear that Heidi, as this famous brand, everybody on the world knows Heidi, so it was clear that Heidi needs to be the main character of this story.
So I play the title role, I play Heidi, and you kind of watch her go on this journey from the Heidi that everyone already knows to a Heidi that these two have created. And the way I've been describing it to people is it's like Lara Croft meets the humour of South Park. So you've got action and drama and badassness, but you've also got crazy comedy in there as well.
Is this a feature, a short? Tell me about it.
It's a short film.
What's it about?
It's about a small town with an ostracized town priest and his acolyte as they face the ramifications of their dark past.
Okay, very ominous, very mysterious. You gave me nothing.
That's the goal.
That's the goal?
Yeah.
Keep it mysterious?
Exactly, yeah. We like making it spooky. The less you know, the better.
Okay, can you give me a vibe, like a direction you were going with this movie?
Religious horror. Religious theological horror. That's our goal. There's a trailer available for everyone to see right now.
Amazing. Do you want to add anything?
You know what? Happy to be here at ScreamFest.
So where were you inspired for this film?
Oh my gosh, the pandemic. I got a little paranoid about politics and whatnot, and that inspired me to write The Powers That Be.
Can you give me a teaser, a little synopsis, something for to get everyone excited?
It's about a woman who's a young politician in a small town type area, and she finds this little girl and helps her home, and the family turns out to be a bunch of crazies, but you'll find out how they're crazy if you come see the powers that be.
As producer of this film, what were you hoping for when you read it? Were you just like, I have to make this happen?
I think that it was just a great idea, and like she said, we were in a time where post-COVID, first of all, I think we were all creatively drained, right? So we're like, let's get something going, let's do something, and it was a great concept, and I don't think that I personally was anticipating this, but this is the most amazing, reward to come out of it. I think I feel like I can speak for all of us. We're super excited.
Talk to me about your short film that's here.
Yeah, it's CIMIM. It's a 5-minute short. It's actually the first 5 minutes of a feature that I've written. So it's kind of our foray into that. It's the cold open, as she calls it. So it follows 5 friends at a campfire, and one of them goes to the truck. When she comes back, she sees herself sitting at the fire, and then all hell breaks loose.
Wait, she sees herself, so she's like outer body?
Something like that, yeah. It's an entity, it's a shapeshifter. It's kind of a play on Wendigos and skinwalkers and things that way, but without that lore, it's my own kind of story in the Midwest desert. So
I love it. And you composed this?
Indeed, yeah.
So when it comes to composing music for a short film versus like a feature, you have to build the tension really fast. So talk to me about the process that you went through to compose the music for this.
Yeah, that's completely true. Honestly, what's wonderful about the short that Cody directed and wrote is that it played really well without music. Like, honestly, we played it top to bottom, and I looked at him in the first spotting session and went, you could play this dry, honestly, because there's so much realism in it that way. So what's wonderful as a composer coming in at that point is you're really just putting the icing on the cake in special moments, and that's what it felt like. It was like, we can just push this a smidge and make this a really special moment, and then pull back and get back into the realism and, hear the breaths, hear the footprints, and really work with the sound effects people to really have a great ebb and flow within the 5 minutes.
Show me the poster! Yes, I love it. So tell me about your project.
Yes, so my movie is essentially Boys in the Hood meets Halloween. So that's the way I like to describe it. It's a slasher movie that doesn't take place in a typical slasher setting. Okay, yeah.
I love that. It's a feature film or is it a short film?
This is a short film. It's based off a feature-length screenplay. It's my first short film, so we're really excited to be here at ScreamFest.
I love it. And executive producer, what was it about this? You read it and you're like, yes, this has to become a project.
Well, she's a gifted writer, and we are so excited, and we had to make this happen, and it was a family affair. Her sister, Hannah Daniels, hey Hannah, was also the executive producer. She found all the cast, and she did a great job executing this movie for her sister.
Yeah, she was definitely the one that really pushed this project forward. She can't be here tonight, but we want to give her a shout out. Shout out to Hannah, shout out to Steven.
So talk to me about your project. Is 5-star review a short, a feature film? What are we looking at?
It is a short. It is creepy, it is slow, it is psychological. It is about an Airbnb host that violates the presumed safety and privacy of her guest, Jen, leading to the ultimate betrayal.
I like that. And tell me more. Or can you? I know, secrets.
I think it's a really deep dive into a woman's intuition and how we don't pay attention to it enough, and what that leads to, and a lot of times our pull to be polite overweighs that, and the consequences of that in the end.
I think that's so important, because I don't know if you guys are murderinos, but there's podcasts I listen to. Oh, I am, yeah. It's like, fuck politeness, excuse me, beep, politeness, because that's so important, and I love that you guys said that, because we get in Ubers, we get in Airbnbs, and it's so terrifying sometimes. So I like that you're tackling this. What made you want to do this?
I mean, I'm a woman, and my biggest, I've always been scared of Airbnbs. I just assume something is going to happen to me or go wrong. Like, where's the video camera in this place? But daily, we live in New York City, walking down the street and getting told to smile, right? So just that daily thing that I need to behave or act a certain way for someone else is something that's grated on me forever, and I wanted to write something that kind of started to delve into that idea of like women are just told to behave or to do certain things. So I love this. And it leads to bad things.
Perfect.
Well, and the guilt that we are kind of taught to have if we don't celebrate somebody else or be nice or be complimentary, and what that can lead to, and that's not always outwardly, it's internally as well.
I hope this sounds amazing. I'm going to have to check it out while I'm here at ScreamFest.
Other thing I just want to mention is Kylie's the writer, I'm the director, and we're both horror buffs, and it's a female-forward, female-led horror short with a diverse crew, and that in itself is a reason to make any film.
My name is Michael Tim, or Mike Tim, as they call me, and my film it's a short film called The Eyes, and it's about where nothing goes unseen, the eyes of karma, basically scold one man who's done wrong.
I love it. I love a karma movie. Where did you get the inspiration for the film?
I actually got it from my daughter, who was drawing eyes on everything during the pandemic, and it freaked me out so much that I had to make a little movie about it.
South, is it a feature film or a short film?
Short.
Okay, amazing. Can you give me a little snippet, a little sneak peek of what South is about?
Of course. So our film South is about a weary traveler who is exploring the frozen expanse of the South, and he meets someone who requires some help.
Very mysterious. You gave me nothing.
I can give you more. But it would spoil it. Yeah.
Is this your guys' first time at ScreamFest?
I actually came to ScreamFest in 2017. I had a short play then, and I totally fell in love with the festival, to be honest. So to be here has been awesome.
We're totally convinced, so that's why we're here as well, right? So we had to film in really hard, harsh, snowy, very cold conditions, and the snow was like up to your knee. Yeah, and we had to walk. Yeah, I mean, seriously, when you see it, it was. Can I use bloody cold?
You're like, this is not CGI. We were all freezing.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
I'm telling you, the stories we can tell about freezing, that's another level.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had been cold, and then I went to Norway and I realized, oh, okay, this is cold. This is cold. I genuinely think the actors had to bring their game a bit for this one because, like Reen said, I think I've been quite lucky. I've filmed a lot around the world, and without a shadow of a doubt, filming in real snow is the hardest thing I've ever done. Logistically, I'll never do it again, that's for sure.
My name is Ludwig, and I'm the director of Dreamster.
Dreamster, talk to me. Is it a short? Is it a feature film?
It's a short that's playing on Saturday at Short Films Block 1.
Amazing. Can you give me a little synopsis, a little sneak peek? What can we expect?
Yeah, so it's about sort of a near future where celebrities live stream their dreams to the world, and in short we follow this actress who has this horrible nightmare on a live stream, and it's sort of about the consequence of that, and really what happens when we share our most private parts to the world, which we already do with Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. So yeah.
Is this your first short film?
No, I've done a couple before this. I think it's about my sixth one, but it's my first one here at ScreamFest. I'm real excited about that. So yeah.
What was your film inspired by? Was it just like a dream you had one day?
Oh, I wish I could say that. No, unfortunately, no. It was just sort of inspired by just social media presence in our general world and how it affects our lives and how we spend all this time on these platforms where we're not being who we are, but the world sort of sees us that way, and then it's kind of like, well, what if we would share our dreams, which is the thing we don't have any control over, Yeah.
Follow Her is an erotic psychological thriller, and it's about a woman who takes an online classified job with a man that she meets online to write the ending of a screenplay. And
she's irresponsible, and then the internet strikes back.
I was introduced to Danny through a filmmaker in New York City, John Gallagher, and I read it, and we started talking about it, and I thought it's very current, very right now, creepy. I really wanted to do something that was very scary, not gory, and had a message, had something to say, and had a female protagonist who fought back, didn't just cave.
I love it. Now, is this your guys' first time at ScreamFest?
Yes.
Yes.
All around. Yes. Very happy to be here.
How excited are you to be at ScreamFest?
We're thrilled. We're absolutely thrilled. I mean, this is just wonderful. We're really excited. I mean, to be here at this theater, with all of the press. It was just fantastic.
My dad makes the Chucky dolls for the movies and now the TV show. So I made a documentary on the series as well as what it was like to grow up with that.
That's amazing. You're like, was that doll just around your house at all times?
Yeah, the 3 dolls here I brought today from my house. I have 2 in my living room currently. It's just, especially during Halloween right now, Chucky's always out, as well as my dad's decapitated head from Seed of Chucky.
Great movie. Love those movies. So what made you want to do a documentary?
It started as a short film for film school at FSU, and then Chucky fans seemed to really love it, and it made me realize what a loved franchise this is, and I didn't think that the franchise deserved a 7-minute short film. They deserved a whole feature-length doc, so that kind of inspired me to take it on as a feature-length project. This is the first one that's all in one place. You know, Chucky's been featured on like Eli Roth's History of Horror. There's an episode on dolls, and there's been like retrospectives here and there, but not a full like hour-and-a-half length documentary. I mean, Freddy's I think is 6 hours long, that documentary. Yeah, so I figured it's about time Chucky had his own.
My film is The Rotting of Casey Culpepper.
Is this a short or a feature?
This is a short film that we're turning into a feature. Yeah.
Can you give me a little snippet, a little tease, a little something to make people excited?
Yeah, it's about a girl who's diagnosed with leukemia, and she starts to experience. You laugh. Really, it's a cheerful comedy, and she starts to experience these visions of a cancer-covered monster, and so it's sort of a cancer allegory in horror form.
What inspired you to write this movie?
Well, oftentimes when people are battling cancer, it's the medicine or the doctors that are fighting the disease, but the patients themselves have to battle with these internal demons of fear and hopelessness and despair. And I wanted to make a movie that was sort of the manifestation of that in monster form, in a way that was palatable, because it is a heavy subject matter, as you laugh, but I wanted to make it in a way that was approachable for an audience. You know.
My name is Gideon P, Sara, the outlaw of filmmakers. I actually came out here to support all the amazing filmmakers who are doing their job and doing an amazing job. I'm from Atlanta, and so I have a project called Terror in Tinseltown, which you will see in the movie theaters. You didn't know I was doing it like that, right?
In the movie theater?
In the movie theater.
I love that you flew all the way out here from Atlanta to support all these amazing people. But do you just love film that much?
I love film. I love horror film. So I just like to go to spots that I've heard of that sound pretty good and review it. You know, I'm like the little person that come into Target, the mystery shopper.
That's right. Is this your first time at ScreamFest, or are you like a veteran?
This is actually my first time at ScreamFest. And I've visited a lot of horror festivals throughout the United States. So I'm thinking I'm starting to like this one so far. So I just want to see what the filmmakers got to offer. Yeah.
I love it. So talk to me about Blue Drum. Is this a feature film?
It's a short film that we shot last year as part of Nalip's Women of Color Incubator, and it was sponsored by Netflix. So we were very lucky to have their support.
That's amazing. Is this your first time at ScreamFest?
This is our first time at ScreamFest. I'm really excited about it, though, because I've heard a lot about it, and we're just really happy to share the screen with a bunch of awesome horror filmmakers, which we love horror, so we're like in our place, in our home.
I love it. And as a cinematographer, you have a big job. You have to create a lot of the ambiance and the lighting and making sure it feels and looks scary. So what did you do for Blue Drum in order to make all that happen?
Yeah, well, mostly we shot with limited lighting, so everything's like dark and scary, like with.
But not like Game of Thrones.
No, no. You can still see it, and you can still get scared. You know, it's like it's not like you're not gonna see anything. But mostly that's what we did. That was our thing, and we made our own lens, so it gives it a special feeling to it. So I hope everyone enjoys it.
You made your own lens?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we took apart an old camera, a point-and-shoot camera from the 70s, and because we wanted to have like everything feel like you're watching a photo album from the 70s. So everything that's what it projects.
That's so cool.
It's a short film called Drifter. It's playing in Short Block 6 on Sunday at 4:15, and I was the director and the editor.
Double dueling. I love it. You're like, it's okay. This is only my baby.
A little bit. Although I can't take credit for the whole thing because J.O. Mariku is the screenwriter and the exec producer, and we work together. And yeah, I'd say that together, it's our love child.
I love it.
Yeah.
So when it comes to directing horror films, and then you have to like edit, what you see in your mind as a director, does it always translate, or do you always find something new and exciting when you're in the edit?
So the interesting thing about this is this was actually my first straight up horror. Most of my films tend to skew a little dark comedy. I feel that comedy and horror are kind of similar in the way they work mechanically. It's building tension and then releasing it. One makes you laugh, the other one makes you scared. So this film, it's funny. We had a lot of production issues that delayed production. We went long a couple days. We were really strapped for time. We ended up throwing out the shot list and kind of winging it one of the days. And I had to, as an editor, you know how to do this, so I was just kind of assembling the shots with the DP in our mentally as we were going through. And to be honest, this is one of the first times where I got to the editing room and I was like, this is pretty much exactly what I wanted it to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
It never happened.
It never has. It's never happened before. And yeah, I think it's one of those things where despite all the trials and tribulations, everything came together and the movie just worked. And it's great. Yeah.
The name of my project is Motion at Your Door. It's a short. It'll be playing at Shorts Block 8. And I was the writer, the director, the producer, and I'm in it for a second, but I actually have other casts. But
You're the ultimate hyphenate on this project. Yes. Tell me a little bit about it. Give me a snippet. Give me something to tease the audience to get them excited.
It's a kind of supernatural thriller horror short, and there is a dead baby who comes into play.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there dead baby jokes?
No jokes. Oh no, it's dead serious. Okay. Although people might laugh, and some people I've shown it to have laughed. So, yeah, it works. It works either way. It's a comedy or it's terrifying, whichever one you want.
When it comes to writing shorts, what is different between that and a feature? Besides time, obviously.
I actually am bad at it, I think, because my short is 10 minutes long and it has 3 acts. Like it has a beginning, middle, and an end. And what I've seen from the best shorts are they're like one idea. And the one idea is like zap, zap, and then you're out. And so I'm used to features and television. I've been produced and I have plenty of credits. And it's like, okay, I'm way more used to having the time and the luxury and being able to build up characters and being able to, establish things and mood. So when we decided like, okay, 10 minutes is the cutoff for this thing, it was very difficult to figure out how to tell that story in that compressed amount of time. And also to utilize what we had access to.
But you got it done. You're here at ScreamFest.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very excited. Extremely. Can't believe it.